The moment you stop thinking, they start winning. And that, my friends, is how most people get played. See, it's not that they're smarter than you, it's not that they have some secret skill, it's that they know how to use your mind against you while you're not even aware of the game. And today, we're flipping that script. This video, it's your armor, your shield, your upgrade. If you're tired of being the one who always ends up confused, heartbroken, or questioning yourself, then lean in. Hey folks, imagine walking through a field full of traps. Emotional traps. You can't see them, but every time you step forward with trust, boom, you get hurt. That's life for people who don't train their minds. That's life for people who chase affection without clarity, who speak before thinking, who believe every sweet word whispered in their ears. But what if you became the one who sees the trap before stepping in it? That's what Stoicism teaches us. Like Marcus Aurelius once said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The world is full of performers, folks. Some act sweet, some act broken, some pretend to care. But real power comes from not needing the performance in the first place. So let them try, let them test you. But this time, you're not playing, you're observing, you're choosing, you're growing. Say it with me in the comments. I'm unplayable. Type it out, anchor it in. And if you're feeling that fire already, press like, hit subscribe, and stay with me. We're just getting started. Number 1. The game isn't outside, it's inside. Most people aren't manipulated by others. They're manipulated by their own unexamined mind. That one stings, doesn't it? But let's face it, if someone can play you, it means they know something about your emotional wiring that you don't. They're not just pushing buttons, they studied where those buttons are. And while you were busy trying to make them happy, trying to decode the mixed signals, trying to not come off as too much, they were watching, waiting, calculating. My friends, you're not in a relationship or a friendship or even a simple conversation. You're in a psychological chess match. But here's the real kicker. They're not winning because they're brilliant. They're winning because you haven't looked in the mirror and asked, where am I exposed? Imagine walking into a room full of mirrors. Each mirror reflects not who you are, but who you think you have to be for other people. One mirror shows you smiling when you're angry. Another shows you staying silent when your soul is screaming. And in the back corner, that one shows you chasing someone who keeps walking away. This is what happens when we don't know ourselves, when we don't sit still and study our own minds. They can play you because you've never played your own inner game. You're reacting, not responding. You're absorbing, not observing. The Stoics knew this centuries ago. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." But how can you choose a wise reaction when you don't even realize the emotional loop you're caught in? When someone flirts with you, do you fall instantly because you crave validation? When someone ignores you, do you spiral because you fear abandonment? That's not them playing you, that's you handing them the controller, and it's not your fault, not yet. But it will be if you stay blind to the pattern. This is hard stuff, I know. Looking at your wounds isn't comfortable. Asking yourself why compliments feel like air when you're starving, that's deep work. It's easier to call people toxic. It's easier to say, they used me. But the truth? You get played when you don't pause to ask, what inside me made that possible? That's not shame, that's power, that's accountability. And that, folks, is the beginning of freedom. Because once you start seeing clearly, you stop giving free access to your energy. You don't let words seduce you unless actions follow. You don't chase explanations from people who've already shown you their truth. You stop looking outside for answers and you start studying you. That's when the game changes. That's when they can't find your weakness, because you've already turned it into wisdom. So here's the move. Take a breath, take a step back, and say it with me. I see the game now. Drop it in the comments. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world that you're not just going to react anymore. You're going to respond with awareness. Because the next part we're about to cover, it goes even deeper. If you think this hit hard, just wait. Number 2. If you need validation, you're already losing. The moment they know you need them to feel worthy, they own you. That's the trap, my friends. That's the bait. And too many people swallow it whole, smiling while they hand over their power. You think you're in love. You think you're forming a bond. But what's really happening? You're turning your self-worth into a product, priced, packaged, and handed over for someone else to approve. And here's the cold truth. People who crave approval are the easiest to manipulate. You don't need a lie detector to spot the players. You need a mirror and the courage to ask, why does their validation feel like oxygen to me? Picture this. You're walking around with an empty cup, and every person you meet, you're holding it out, hoping they'll pour something in. A compliment, a like, a smile, a reply, a "you matter." And when they do, you light up. You feel full for a second, but when they stop, you feel empty, agitated, anxious. This is the prison of the untrained mind. It confuses attention for love. It trades authenticity for approval. And the worst part, you don't even realize you've built your self-worth on someone else's unstable mood. Marcus Aurelius said, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own." Let that hit. Because if someone can hurt you just by ignoring you, you've already handed them the script. If they can ruin your day by withholding a text, by pulling away slightly, by saying, "I'm busy," then they're not in charge. You are just untrained. You're playing the game on their board, by their rules, blindfolded. And every time you chase, every time you beg, every time you over-explain, apologize for existing, or try to win them back, you lose a little more of yourself. But it doesn't have to stay that way. Let me ask you this. What would happen if you stopped needing to be liked? What would happen if you stopped measuring your value based on who validates you? Scary thought, right? Because we're raised on approval, we're taught to seek permission before trusting ourselves. But that conditioning, it's exactly what manipulators depend on. They don't have to dominate you, they just have to delay their affection, and you'll start folding yourself in half just to earn it back. Folks, that's not connection, that's control. Real strength? It doesn't beg. It doesn't prove. It doesn't rush to say, "Am I enough?" It knows. And that kind of knowing is quiet, unshakable, unimpressed by games. Because once you validate yourself, once you see yourself clearly, you stop needing permission to exist. You stop falling for breadcrumbs, for fake intimacy, for love that disappears the moment you stop performing. Think about it. When you don't need their validation, they have no grip. They can flirt, ghost, insult, praise, pull away, come back, test you, confuse you, and all of it just becomes noise. You're no longer hooked. Why? Because you're not holding out that empty cup anymore. You filled it yourself. But let's not pretend this shift is easy. You'll feel the urge to seek, to check your phone, to over-explain. You'll feel the panic rise when they don't reply. But that discomfort, that's your healing. That's the withdrawal from external dependency. And it's the price of freedom. Because true freedom isn't not caring. It's caring without crumbling. It's loving without losing your center. It's being in a room full of eyes and not needing a single one to validate who you are. So today, I challenge you. Start the training. Start small. When the urge comes to reach out, to explain, to chase, to beg, pause. Ask yourself, do I need this to feel okay? And if the answer is yes, step back. Go inward. You're not weak for feeling that need. but you are powerful enough to rise above it. Let's anchor this in together. Drop this in the comments right now. I validate myself. Type it. Own it. Show yourself. Show the world. Because once you believe it deep enough, they can't touch you. And stay close, my friends, because what we're about to dive into next, it will rewire the way you experience pain, power, and pressure forever. Number 3, pain is data, not a death sentence. They didn't break you, they revealed you. That one hurts a little, doesn't it? But it's real. See? The worst moments of your life, the ones that shook you, shattered you, made you question your worth. They weren't just accidents or betrayals or failures. They were feedback, raw, brutal, unfiltered data about what you believe, what you fear, and what you've never healed. But most people don't see pain like that. They see pain as punishment, as the end, as the sign that something's wrong with them. But what if pain wasn't your enemy? What if pain was your map? Let me paint the picture. Imagine your mind like a battlefield, and every unhealed wound is a landmine. You're walking through life, and things seem okay until someone says the wrong thing, ignores you, criticizes you, leaves you. Boom. Explosion. You're spiraling, angry, numbered, devastated. And the first thing you say is, "Why does this hurt so much?" My friend, it hurts not because they were that powerful, but because they stepped on something you buried long ago. Pain isn't just the result of their actions. It's a signal from your past, telling you exactly where you still bleed. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." And fate, for most people, looks like getting hurt by the same kind of person over and over again. Different name, same pattern. Why? Because when pain is avoided, it becomes the architect of your future. But when pain is observed, when it's studied, it becomes your teacher. And that's when you stop being a victim and start becoming a master. But let's be honest, it's tempting to run from pain. It's easier to distract yourself, to blame them, to numb it with scrolling, eating, overworking, begging for closure. But pain that isn't felt doesn't disappear. It just goes underground. It hides in your relationships, your habits, your reactions. You start defending your triggers instead of diffusing them. You build your personality around avoiding discomfort. And soon, your whole life is shaped by things you won't admit are still hurting you. But here's the shift. The next time someone triggers you, don't react, reflect. Ask yourself, what exactly did that bring up? What belief did that touch? What old version of me still thinks I'm not enough, not wanted, not safe? That moment isn't weakness, it's access. It's an invitation to finally face what you've been dragging behind you for years. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." That's not just poetry, that's a manual for strength. Because once you stop fearing pain, once you start studying it, you become immune to the games. They can't use your past against you anymore. They can't twist your fear into a hook, because you're no longer hiding from yourself. Think about the last time someone ghosted you, betrayed you, humiliated you. What did it awaken? The fear of abandonment? The belief that you're not enough unless someone proves it? That's where the power is hiding. In the reaction, in the rawness. Because when you train your mind to observe pain instead of drowning in it, you take back the controls. You stop spiraling. You stop chasing. You start choosing. And let's not sugarcoat this. It takes grit. It takes silence. It takes the kind of inner work that most people will never do. But that's exactly what separates the played from the powerful. Most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid pain. But the Stoics, they leaned into it. They studied it. And in doing so, they transformed it into wisdom, into clarity, into strength. So the next time you feel that emotional sting, pause. Don't run, don't numb it, just ask, what is this trying to teach me? Because the pain you're feeling, it isn't a curse, it's a compass. Let's anchor this lesson, my friends. Drop this in the comments right now. Pain is my teacher. Say it loud. Say it proud. Say it like someone who's not afraid to grow anymore. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world that you're done being a prisoner of your past. You're stepping into mastery now. And in the next part of this journey, we go even deeper into the quiet, dangerous strength of not reacting. Stay with me. This transformation has just begun. Number 4, you owe no one a reaction. Silence is not weakness, it's strategy. And yet, most people are terrified of it. They feel the silence and panic. They think if they don't say something back, they're losing. If they don't defend themselves, they look weak. If they don't clap back, they look stupid. But my friends, let me tell you something real. The moment you react on impulse, you've already handed them the playbook. Because when you're predictable, you're controllable. And when you're controllable, you're easy to manipulate. Imagine this. You're sitting at a poker table. Everyone else is bluffing, calculating, watching. But you wear your heart on your sleeve. Every card you pull, your face shows it. Every time someone bets big, your hands shake. Every time someone mocks you, you raise your voice. That's not confidence. That's exposure. That's how you get played. Not because they're better than you, but because you didn't protect your energy with silence. Look, people will push you. They'll poke you. They'll test your edges just to see if they can bend you. That's not always evil. It's just human nature. The world is full of noise, full of egos waiting for a reaction. But the most dangerous person in the room, it's not the loudest. It's the one who watches, listens, and waits. The one who's not so easy to shake. That's the one nobody can predict. That's the one nobody wants to mess with. Because stillness doesn't mean you're asleep. It means you're studying. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." In other words, don't react like them. Don't fall into their chaos. Don't lose your footing just to prove a point. Most people who insult you, mock you, disrespect you, they're not actually trying to fight. They're trying to drag you into their drama. And once you enter that arena, you've already lost. Why? Because now you're fighting on their terms. But when you stay silent, when you walk away without a flinch, that's when the power flips. But let's be real, it's not easy. Everything in your body will scream, say something. You'll feel your jaw clench, your heart race, your palms itch. That's your nervous system reacting from old programming, from past wounds, from the part of you that still believes silence equals weakness. But that's the lie, isn't it? The one they taught us when we were kids. Stand up for yourself. Don't let anyone talk to you like that. And yes, there's truth there, but there's also a deeper truth. Not every battle is worth your energy. When you react to everyone who disrespects you, you're not defending yourself, you're leaking your power. You're letting people rent space in your head, drag you out of character, and dictate your frequency. And for what? A moment of fake superiority, a temporary win in a fight that leaves you more drained than victorious. Let me ask you this. Who do you respect more? The person who always explodes, always reacts, always needs the last word, or the one who moves in silence, handles disrespect without ever needing to prove anything? That second one, that's stoic strength, that's presence, that's emotional command. And that is very rare, because it takes discipline to pause. It takes control to say nothing. It takes wisdom to protect your peace instead of performing for someone who's not even worth the energy. When you stay silent, you're not ignoring it. You're disarming it. You're refusing to carry emotional garbage that doesn't belong to you. So the next time someone tries to push your buttons, tries to bait you into reacting, remember this. You don't owe them your energy. You don't owe them your peace. You owe you your center. You owe you your clarity. You owe you the ability to walk away with your dignity intact. And if you've ever been the one who reacted fast, don't beat yourself up. This isn't about guilt. This is about awareness. Because now you know, now you see, and now you can train the pause. You can build the muscle of silence. You can teach yourself not to flinch at every emotional jab. Let's seal this with an affirmation. Drop it in the comments. I owe no one a reaction. Write it, repeat it, live it, and watch how fast your world changes. Because when you stop giving away your peace like it's free candy, you start walking like a person no one can shake. Stay with me. Next up, we dive into boundaries and the guilt traps that keep people stuck. And trust me, it's going to hit even harder. Number 5, never explain your standards. Defend them in silence. If your boundaries offend them, they were planning to break them. Read that again, slowly. Because that's the part they never tell you. The moment you draw a line and someone gets angry, defensive, or starts guilt-tripping you, it's not because your boundary is too strong. It's because their manipulation just hit a wall, and instead of respecting it, they want you to feel bad for building it. My friends, here's the harsh truth. People who benefit from your lack of standards will always make you feel like setting them is selfish. They'll say things like, "You've changed," or "You're being cold," or my personal favorite, "You're overreacting." No, you're not overreacting. You're just finally reacting with clarity. And that clarity scares people who were counting on your confusion. Picture this. You're guarding a temple. It's sacred. It's built on self-respect, on energy, on peace. Every time you let someone in without checking their intention, they leave muddy footprints. Every time you ignore the red flags, they knock something over. And eventually, that temple, your mind, your heart, your body, it doesn't feel like yours anymore. That's what happens when you let guilt talk you out of your standards. And the worst part, most people aren't even conscious manipulators. They don't know they're draining you. They're just acting from their unhealed mess. But if you keep explaining, keep softening, keep making your boundary digestible, they'll keep testing it. Because words don't teach people how to treat you. Behavior does. When you draw the line and stay silent, when you don't argue, don't justify, don't beg them to understand, that's when they finally get it, or they leave. And either way, you win. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Don't argue for your standards. Embody them. Don't defend your boundaries. Enforce them, quietly, steadily, without rage, without panic, without the need to convince anyone. Because true strength isn't loud, it's locked in. And once your boundaries become non-negotiable, your life starts filtering itself. The fake ones fade, the selfish ones leave, and what's left is peace. But here's why it's hard. You've been trained to be likable, to be agreeable. You were told that nice means saying yes, staying soft, never upsetting anyone. So when you say no for the first time, when you cancel plans to rest, when you walk away from someone who plays games, when you stop entertaining mixed signals, it feels wrong. Your body reacts like you're doing something bad, but you're not doing something bad. You're doing something new, and your nervous system, it's just catching up. Let me ask you this. Why do you think you have to explain your standards in the first place? Why do you think you owe someone a paragraph, an apology, a breakdown of why you won't tolerate breadcrumbs anymore? That's the people-pleasing residue. That's the old conditioning. The belief that your worth is tied to how comfortable you make others feel. But comfort isn't love, compliance isn't kindness, and shrinking yourself so someone else can feel bigger, that's not respect, that's self-abandonment, and Stoicism teaches us to honor what is in our control, not to bend ourselves for what isn't. Epictetus said, "Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." And if who you are now is someone who doesn't tolerate half-effort, inconsistency, disrespect, or manipulation, then own that, without a speech, without guilt. The people meant for you, they'll respect your standards without needing an explanation. The ones not meant for you, they'll be offended, then they'll disappear, and you'll realize they were never truly with you, just near you. So here's your shift. From today on, let your silence carry weight. Let your actions speak for your values. Let your energy protect your space. No more long-winded justifications. No more apologizing for having needs. If they don't respect your standards in silence, they were never going to in conversation. Let's lock it in. Drop this in the comments right now. My standards don't need permission. Write it like a vow. Say it like a truth. Show yourself. Show the world. Because we're not here to explain our worth. We're here to embody it. And in the next part, we'll confront the silence people use to test your value and how you rise above it. Stay sharp. It gets deeper. Number 6, they don't ghost you. They test your self-worth. When they disappear, they're not punishing you. They're revealing you. That's what ghosting really is, my friends. It's not silence. It's a mirror. One that shows you exactly where you've still tied your value to their attention. Because let's be honest, it's not just the fact that they vanished that hurts. It's what your mind tells you it means. I wasn't enough. They lost interest. I must have said something wrong. No, that's not truth. That's conditioning. That's the echo of old wounds pretending to be reality. You've got to understand. People don't always leave because of you. Sometimes they vanish because they never intended to stay. Because silence is the easiest way to avoid accountability. Because keeping you in emotional limbo gives them control. And if you chase them when they disappear, you just confirmed it. Your worth is still tied to their validation. Imagine this. Your energy is a currency. Every time you beg for clarity, every time you check your phone 50 times, every time you craft the perfect message hoping for a reply, you're spending your power on someone who's already walked out of the store. That's not love. That's a withdrawal from a bank account that doesn't exist. The Stoics knew how to handle this. They didn't chase ghosts. They didn't collapse when others changed course. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action." What stands in the way becomes the way. Their silence? That's not your wall, that's your mirror. And what it reflects, your reaction, your spiral, your self-talk, that's what you've been needing to see. So the next time someone ghosts you, don't beg, don't break, breathe. Let their silence echo into your growth. Let it strengthen your boundaries. Let it refine your standards. Don't ask, why did they leave? Ask, what did this reveal about me? Now drop this in the comments. My value isn't silent. Say it, claim it, show them, show yourself. Because once you master this level, ghosting becomes just that, a disappearing act that no longer haunts you. And up next, we sharpen the mind to a level where no trick can touch it. Stay close. Number 7, the moment you stop chasing, you start leading. The second you stop running after them, after their attention, their approval, their breadcrumbs, that's the second everything shifts. Because chasing doesn't bring you closer, it only pushes them further. Desperation is a scent and people can smell it. But presence, that's rare, that's magnetic. When you hold your ground, when you stop proving, when you stop texting just to remind them you exist, you stop orbiting them and start becoming your own gravity. Stillness isn't surrender. It's signal, a signal that says, I'm not for sale, I'm not performing, I'm not bending to be seen. That's the kind of energy that makes people pause, that flips the game, And whether they come back or not no longer matters, because the power is back in your hands. So from now on, don't chase, don't flinch, don't beg, stand. Let your silence speak for your standards. Let your energy lead the room before your words ever do. Because the ones who see your value won't need to be convinced of it. Now anchor this shift. Drop this in the comments. I lead in silence. Type it out. Claim it. And if this spoke to your soul, like this video, subscribe.